Internet.
Oh no! What?
Internet.
Finally,
Are people here?
It's good to be back.
We're back. It's
Back
nice.
in Skytown.
It's nice
been
and
a
cozy
while.
here.
Yeah. It is after being out for so long, we did all the Pride games, and those went a little long, which is fine.
Sorry, guys. I can't run a short session ever.
Whatever. One shots are never meant to be one shot. Rule number one is zombie
shot at
apocalypse.
being a one shot.
Double tap. That's how you should play D&D as well. But yeah, welcome back. It's Wednesday, everybody.
Yeah.
It's D&D night.
Yeah.
We're over the hump of the week. More so for Sam and I because we are on vacation the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Suckers. But yeah, it's our opportunity to roll some dice, raise some money for Extra Life, as we are wont to do with all of our die rolls, and participants can donate to affect their own die rolls. Viewers, you can donate to affect die rolls of the players. Couple of quick shout outs. I feel like I'm out of practice on all of this. It's weird. A couple of quick shout outs. Big thanks to Incarnate and Dungeon Alchemist, Foundry VTT.
We have to add Pocket Bard to our video too.
Yeah, we do. I have very quickly fallen in love with Pocket Bard for the music. But yeah, for maps, for music, Hero Forge giving us all of our minis, especially the Hero Forge community. I cannot tell you guys how much time I spend just perusing the community pages saying, ooh, that looks cool. Thank you very much. Ooh, that looks cool. But yeah, and then in addition to Pocket Bard, Monument Studios, we still use them a lot for other music. And yeah. So before we get started, I have two questions. First, do I have a volunteer to explain what the hell is going on? Because it's been a hot minute. Where are we? What are we doing? Who are all you people?
Guys,
to
who
read.
are
I'm sorry,
we?
give me one moment.
Actually, here's a question for the DM. We are on the water. What is this water we are on? We are down at the coast after having retrieved Phoenix Fire.
Yes.
And we not battled a Phoenix, battled other people who were, well, mostly just pissing off the Phoenix greatly, and then caused a big eruption of a volcano. The infamous Spice Mountain has blown its top.
Spice Mountain is now Spice Caldera.
Yeah, Spice Mountain is now Spice Caldera, and the large cloud of ash is floating its way over towards Skytown and possibly other things too. Unclear. We have not gone that direction.
Pretty much everywhere. You guys look up where you're at in, like, at the coast. I've marked on your regional map with a little "you are here" dot. But yeah, you look up and it is almost snowing. That it is just smoke and ash blanketing the sky.
Cool. Totally healthy. So we're doing good. because we all know from our history that it's awesome to breathe in tons of ash. It works out really well for people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Long term, totally works out well. Yes, so we confronted a phoenix and mostly dealt with the other party of individuals who seem to be trying to kill it. Unclear what their reasoning was, whether they just hate the phoenix, whether they were there to do something similar and gather up some fire. Either way, it did not end well for them. Didn't really end well. It ended better for us, but still not great. And
I mean, you guys survived.
We survived, and we have phoenix fire in a box. Yes. That we have carried away with us. A little bit of phoenix fire as we hauled ass out of the temple before the mountain collapsed into the lava-filled caldera.
Now, if I remember correctly, you guys have a little bit more than just fire in that box.
We have a little.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have. It's like a whole egg.
It's a maybe we'll be phoenix.
Guys, we can't adopt this phoenix as much as Lulu wants to. Like, in my heart, Lulu
yes,
wants
we
it
absolutely.
So much.
We're not giving this phoenix to the forge guy who's gonna put it in a cage. That's terrible.
You sure we can't adopt it?
I thought we were giving it to Agir.
Yeah, I think we were gonna head to the temple.
Because I'm sure that the temple wants a giant phoenix.
I'm sure Agir does.
I mean,
Agir definitely wants it. I think the forge is not going to be happy. Do you think we can?
Whatever.
I mean, I don't think the forge can necessarily handle the whole phoenix.
Do you think they wouldn't
We're giving
try?
It to the emissary of fire, Jesus.
Yeah, think about why they don't have fire now because of what they previously did. Do not put it past them at all to try and put this phoenix egg in a cage and then just be like, we'll just get a bigger cage as it gets bigger. Not thinking about the fact that it's A, going to be huge, B, it's going to be pissed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, we shall.
Maybe we can scoop some fire off of it. Is the egg the phoenix egg, the fiery phoenix egg? Can we touch it? Or is this a, do not touch once in box? I kind of want to touch it.
All right, before we get to that...
Dustin's like, I had a whole list.
We got to do all of this one thing at a time. First of all, I need everybody to roll a percentile.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was getting out of the bag. Which one of you fuckers?
What are we listening to? This is more ominous DJ. than I was expecting.
This is more ominous than it needs to be. We're not there yet.
Sam, I was gonna be like, no, that's his brother. Then I was like, that's a stupid joke.
No, that's a good joke.
This is a little bit less ominous.
I can't.
Did it move to the boss room music too early?
No, it just for some reason. So this is the Ancient Grove scene. What we were listening to was the forest scene, but for some reason that forest got real ominous for a minute.
I mean, the forest is currently parts of it are on fire, and the rest of it seems to be getting buried in ash, and I'm assuming everything that lived in it is probably I think we actually might have followed the animals. They were like, oh, they're all heading that way. Let's go this way, guys.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong.
Okay.
But let's, Rhodes, what did you roll on your D100?
89.
89. Great year, 89.
88 was a little better, but that's okay.
Fuck you and your 88.
83.
1984.
God.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Your lawn is the same.
Come on, guys. I just want to play my Pokemon cards. I just want to ride my bike. Because I'm clearly the baby here.
You are.
So Sam's a cougar, in other words?
By about 6 months. 7 months.
Robbing that cradle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I've always had a thing for older women. 89. What is your character's relationship with magic? Are they scared of it? Wish to know more about it? Indifferent? What's
not
up with
scared
that?
or anything. Just like he's not scared of it. Plenty of people, like obviously he has magical friends who do some sort of variant type of magics. So there's no fear. There's just like a complete lack of understanding. Like, it's a thing, it exists, I know it exists, it's cool when it's helpful. But like, over his head. He started talking, nope, not clicking, not a bit. So his relationship is distant appreciation with zero understanding. But glad that other people can do it.
When y'all talk about math.
Is your relationship with magic just that scene from Indiana Jones and the first one, Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they're going through the town chase and he comes across like this big dude with a sword and the dude starts waving his sword around and then Indy just shoots him?
Yeah. Yeah, just
like magic is fancy and cool and all, but I also have this gun.
Yeah. You know what? I think I can get straight to the point. Bullet to the head. Done.
But what if you had a magical gun?
Okay, well, that's your job.
It is, literally. I'm working on it.
Hence why he appreciates it.
Zill's job is have gun. Your job, Sam, is make gun magic. All right. Speaking of whom, Sam.
29.
29. What are your characters' hobbies and interests outside of their class?
Oh God,
their class abilities.
I don't know if she really has a whole lot outside of
when you're not artificing. What do you do?
Sleep. Like I feel like that's sleep and drink. Sleep and drink. Like I feel like
drinking.
Yeah, like drinking. She's not like partier in terms of like I'm gonna go to like what is it, the
Moonlight Row.
Moonlight Row. Like she's not a big Moonlight Row fan. Like she likes like I mean the mutton chop is always a favorite. Like lower key kind of bars, but like she's always down for a rowdy like bar brawl.
You don't go clubbing. But you do go bar crawling.
Yes. Or like, yeah, I don't, she spends some time with the family that talks to her still and, that kind of stuff. But I think her identity and her being is so connected to artificing, whether it's just like tinkering with something, even if she's not working on like a major project, she's still always like, crafting something or futzing or tinkering with something. It's just innately what she is. She's one of those people that she lives that, like, outside of sleeping hours.
Okay. All right. Court. Your face is full of food. Tina, what did you roll?
22.
What animal best represents your character?
That's really good for Endeavor.
And honestly, a dog, which is kind of ironic because Endeavor was replaced by a dog.
Yeah,
But
it is a little close to home.
Yeah, I Endeavor, and I think part of that is just that sort of base level programming where they're extremely loyal. They get they get defensive, at least for or on behalf of the people that they uh care for. I think they also are the type that they're like I don't know, they're like a lab or one of like a bloodhound, one of the dogs that basically is just really, really happy to like get like a good boy. Like you did well. Like they really aim to please. With a little bit of that like that curiosity of like, what's that smell? What's that smell? And then they just kind of wander off into the bush
so
to
you're
go.
a lab.
Yeah, basically. Basically I'm a lab.
So you're our dog?
Yeah.
Probably. Like, yeah, all is well until there's like something very interesting happening over there. At which point Endeavor's like, but I need to go check this out.
Okay. Court, what you got?
41.
41. Does your character care about how they're perceived by others? Do they change themselves to fit in with other people? This is a very interesting question for you.
Given that she's a changeling, she spent the first bit of her time in Skytown, trying to fit in, disguised herself as a dwarf, even though she was just like, I hate having a beard. This is fucking stupid. And
Hey, fuck you. Beards are great.
Why am I so short?
Yeah, like why am I so short? And why can't I walk very fast? What the hell? And as she got more comfortable with her group, once she got burned and went down in combat, and they kind of didn't blink at the fact that, hell yeah, the fuck? She sort of felt more comfortable portraying herself more as she really kind of feels. Like she parades around as a half elf now and openly talks about being fae. That said, uh, for a long time, she really tried to be put into the stabby stab position, and it made her feel powerful in a lot of respects, but uh, I think that she felt a little bit like it didn't fit as well as it should. And she is, you know, changing her class now. So,
Okay. All right. Well, then with that, we will begin. Tina, you already had some questions that you were trying to get into.
Oh, so we have gotten to this coastal area, this beach that's like this sort of, I don't know, bay or something. And I think our plan was we needed to settle for at least a little while. Correct?
Yes.
We all look rough.
By the time by the time you guys had gone through that temple, got in that tussle with the Phoenix and that other mystery group of, I'm going to use the broad term of adventurers. You don't know who they were. You got into that tussle. The mountain exploded, and you made your escape. You are now back down the mountain, past the burned village.
Okay.
And you've made it all the way to the coast. At this point, it is evening. It is very dark. Yeah. The only like ambient light that you guys have is that from the mountain.
Well, if we are going to stop for any period of time and not die from the ash falling from the sky, I think we need to probably have some kind of actual shelter so we don't get buried, and B, yes, Courtney.
I can cast Tiny Hut now.
Awesome.
Please tell me how.
We just look over to Helia, and she just pops up a fucking hut. It's like, what the hell?
Did you always?
Where you guys normally see her with her daggers, and after a fight, she kind of like sounds way dirtier than I mean it. Like polish her sword. You know, like
yeah. You need privacy. I'm just make the hut opaque.
She's kind of like acting a little sus. Like she's kind of like looking around, and like she takes a little set of like pipes out of her bag, you know, and like all of a sudden you start hearing like just this like really low melody being played. It's probably Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, just like something that she can, you know, confidently play easily. And underneath a big tree that it's not one of those like pines that you can go hide under, but probably just one with a canopy, so it protects them from the ash a little bit. You'll see little sparks begin to form, and as the sparks grow, you see it form a dome around her, because I think if I remember Tiny Hut, you have to be in the middle of it as you're casting it. And after a minute of her playing, she pokes her head out and gestures everybody to come in. This should keep us safe for the night.
Immediately put back the supplies I need for air bubble.
Yeah, same
Like,
thing.
literally was gonna put bubbles around everyone's head. Like, okay, fine.
That's actually much better.
Yeah.
And 9 creatures of medium size or smaller, so there's room for Brutus and what the hell's her name?
The cousin.
Elsa.
Oh yeah. That's right. We brought your cousin to the exploding mountain.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. Almost killed the cousin a couple times.
A couple times.
Lulu's just gonna like shrug at Zill and then just like, she's on Brutus at this point. There's been far too much walking. She's exhausted at 15 hit points.
Yep.
That she just lets Brutus like she taps him on the shoulder with like, you know, that like metallic sound, and then points. And he just creeps it.
I've been researching some things at the headquarters for our guild, and you know, I think this is a little more fitting for me than playing the Inquisition, you know?
Whatever makes you happy.
Also, not so sure about these pipes, but I couldn't really hide the loot because...
Can you play the lute?
Yeah, I mean, I've been practicing. I can play a couple songs. One of them's probably like Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and it's probably a mandolin. Anyway, we have this for 8 hours. It a lute. Yeah, she absolutely does.
They're all lutes.
Yeah,
everything's a lute.
It's just a ukulele.
Yeah. Anyway, it should keep us dry, keep the air clean, can get a full rest. The only thing is, I can't exactly leave or else it goes away.
I feel like none of us should wander out there right now.
Probably not.
I agree. Slide off of Brutus and start putting down bedrolls and our usual camp.
I really just want to. I really want to look at the Phoenix box now that like we're in a space.
Yeah,
that's actually protected as we're settling in.
Remind me how big this bubble is. It's only
a 10-foot radius.
Yeah.
It says a 10-foot radius immobile dome of force springs into existence around you and above you and remains stationary for the duration. The spell ends if you leave its area.
Right.
9 creatures of medium size or smaller can fit inside the dome with you. The spell fails if its area includes a larger creature more than 9 creatures.
Mm-hmm.
So, objects within the dome can, when I cast the spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it.
Yeah.
So realistically, as long as you guys were standing near me, you're probably in it when I cast it. And then you should be able to move in and out of it. Otherwise, nothing can come in unless invited.
All right. So you guys are in this dome for the evening. Are you still going to take watches?
Can we see? I know with the dome we can see out. Can we actually see anything in general, though? Like, how is visibility with all this coming down?
It is a. It looks like snowfall.
Okay.
If the snow was like a medium brownish gray.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it looks like really dirty, awful snow. So visibility is, I won't say minimal, but definitely obstructed somewhat. But you guys are in the forest. I'll say, unless you want to correct me, I'll say you're like 100 feet or so from the water's edge. There's no like beach to speak of. The shoreline is mostly just mud and dirt, which is part of the reason why you're so far back. But yeah, I mean, you're in and amongst the trees. Actually, everybody make me a perception check.
Natural 20.
Hey.
Yeah.
14.
For a total of 27.
Jesus.
Wow.
Never mind.
I got a 22, but I'll just go home.
Also a 27, but not natural 20.
Okay.
Fuck you guys. Never mind.
Oh,
Well, it's just like
I
looking at the
fucking
damage.
asked.
Wow.
Brutus does get it too. Nope. We're just sleeping.
Okay.
Tired.
So you guys are just in and amongst the trees. It's been probably about an hour, maybe 2, since you've seen any other wildlife. By this time, any creature that could escape has not stopped and is continuing to escape. There's no birds. There's no squirrels or rodents or deer or anything else of that nature. As this ash continues to fall. But, I mean, in the dome, you guys are perfectly safe.
I feel like... I feel like it's one of those nights where periodically one of us needs to get up to go, like, do the equivalent of snow shovel so that we have the path out of the dome in the morning.
Do we have something to use as a shovel?
I was just going through my shit.
I mean,
it's not like
I
snow.
don't
You can't just
say it, but like the closest we have to a shovel is Brutus. I'm sorry, Brutus.
It's mean. You're not incorrect, but that's mean. I was thinking it too.
Yeah, Zoe will be like, "Look, we're talking about this," and he's like,
Yeah.
"I'll say it. I'll say the quiet part out loud." Brutus is the shovel.
He's not a transformer.
No, but he's got paws. He can
He
just
does
kind of
have
like,
paws.
push.
He's also pretty robust.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to sleep.
True.
That's true. Also doesn't need to breathe.
Also true. Yeah, I don't think he takes... Yeah, he's immune to poison. So, yeah, he can, I mean, he'll stay up with whoever's keeping watch, and if you want to if you see that we're losing a path back into the forest, then just wake him up.
Okay. Which brings me back to my question: are you taking watches?
Probably should still take
I think
watch.
so.
Sure.
Okay.
I feel like we are. I feel like we ought to, even if we can't see that much, right?
Yeah.
All right, then who is taking first watch?
I can.
I mean,
I don't look too much like shit, so if other people need to sleep first, that's fine.
Okay. Um. Then Sam, you and
Yeah, Reg, you want to just take second?
That's fine.
you guys do still also have Elsa, who I believe actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think she was really touched. I mean, we could take first watch together, and then that works.
That's cool.
So yeah, so Sam and Elsa.
No.
Zill. No, and Zill. The two of you take first watch. Either both of you can roll perception, or one of you can roll perception with advantage.
Lula will give Zill advantage, and then I'll roll for Brutus.
$21.
You know those good rolls I was doing the other day? Biting me in the ass. 10.
Sam, you said 10?
10.
Okay. Not much changes. Ash continues to fall. Is there anything in particular either of you would like to do during this watch? Like any odds and ends downtime type of activity or that sort of thing?
No, probably just, cleaning blood and ash off my guns. But other than that, no.
Okay.
Just general gun maintenance,
Zill, you notice this first. But over the course of this watch, there is an accumulation of ash about 2 inches.
Oh, yeah, if we get to 2 inches, then, probably, because let's be real, some of us are short. So, once we get to that point, I'd probably...
most of you are short.
Yes. I'd probably just look, politely look at Lula and gesture to Brutus and outside and be like,
All right.
sorry.
She'll give him another pat. And kind of gesture and make us a path.
Okay. Yeah, Brutus spends maybe the next hour just kind of digging a path. I mean, it's only 2 inches, so it's not that big a deal yet.
Yeah, but clearing around it so it doesn't pile up against the dome, and then just I feel like a nice good radius around is probably
But yeah, so Brutus digs out around the dome, and yeah, digging a path a little bit further into the forest, as well as just some extra space around the dome. He spends about an hour doing that. Otherwise, it is eerily silent. In fact, I need both of you to make wisdom saving throws.
I'm not good at those.
Uh-oh.
Is this a magical effect?
No.
Okay.
It's not magic.
It's just nature being creepy.
I love how when we both have to roll this, that's the first question we both ask.
Important. 11. I'm sorry, 15.
16.
Okay. Yeah, it's really unsettling. There are a couple of points in time where you are keeping your mind kind of occupied, having idle chit chat, the repetition of cleaning your equipment and that sort of thing. But you reach a couple of points where neither of you are really doing anything, and you're just sitting watching, and it is definitely too quiet. The only thing that is breaking that eerie silence is the occasional tremor. Because there are still tremors, there are still quakes that are shaking the ground.
Does it remain dark around us?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, her concern is we know that the explosion in the lava was heading towards Skytown, but she wants to keep an eye and make sure that we're not going to get that ash is the only thing that is surrounding us.
At this point in time, the ash is the only threat you perceive in the immediate area.
Okay.
All right. Who is taking second watch? Who do you wake up for second watch?
How many watches are we taking?
I don't know.
I can never remember how many watches we should be taking.
We can take what I think I only need 6 hours anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, 6 hours. So
yeah, why don't we?
I can always jump up a little early.
Yeah, and then maybe, because we trust her, we'll let Elsa take the last one. It's only like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's daylight out.
Yeah.
Will it be though? We don't know.
Well, theoretically.
Okay.
All right, so Endeavor and Helia, the two of you are woken up for second watch.
Mm-hmm. All right.
One of the first things that the two of you notice when you wake up is the accumulation of ash. You can tell that it's starting to accumulate on the top of the dome. And even though Brutus has just cleared out an area, it is quickly being recovered.
I'll use Mage Hand, I'll stick my hand out and cast Mage Hand, just kind of within 30 feet. It has a range of 30 feet, so everything that she can reach, she will. Sweeping gestures of, getting the ash out of the way.
Yeah.
I'll say that you're able to do a little bit of that, but even though you're awake, this is still supposed to be rest time. So you're not going to really be able to do anything too strenuous without threatening your long rest benefits.
Yeah, I think she would at least do the entrance, and you just kind of shovel off your front stoop so you can get out there in the morning or whatever, but not go around the whole thing, because she also knows that the ash, it can build up against the dome, but it's not going to be able to get in. So as long as they have a place to kind of exit, then she'll just kind of
I can probably blow some
too
away
much
as
effort
well.
into it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can also blow some away, and in the morning, as I look around at the, completely featureless black landscape, can try and kind of blow out whatever accumulates in the night with
Okay.
some help from Brutus. But as long as this dome keeps it from coming in here.
All right.
It should.
Um, then yeah, you guys are doing that. Is there anything else that either of you are doing during this watch?
I'm looking at the egg.
You're just looking at the egg.
I really well since we kind of we basically scooped it up, put it in the box, and then
And
immediately
bolted.
So we haven't. Once we're settled in this dome and kind of in a place of relative safety, I wanna
Mm-hmm.
I wanna look at what we got. I really want to pet it, but I'll look at it first.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Oh God, this thing needs to stop doing that. 23.
23. Okay. You are able to, you're able to read a couple of the runes that have been scrawled around the outside of this. It's sort of a box and sort of a cage. Like, so you can, you can see the contents from the outside.
Okay.
And you can read a few of these runes, and they are all relating to. Excuse me. They're all relating to abjuration magic, conjuration magic, and evocation. Are really the three areas of magic that encompasses the function of this box. You said what, a 23?
23.
23. What you after a period of time studying this, now that it is occupied, you realize what you're actually holding in your hand. And you identify this as a brazier of commanding fire elementals.
Commanding fire elementals. Let me go take a look at that real quick and bring that up.
While Endeavor is learning all of that, Helia, go ahead and make a perception check.
Brazier.
14.
14. Okay. Endeavor kind of loses themselves in thought as this study and realization progresses, where once they were sort of thinking out loud or passively trying to include you in a conversation that we all know you know nothing about. Endeavor kind of trails off and goes silent, being lost in this activity. And you look out over the landscape. Ash is continuing to fall. And you make the realization of how absolutely quiet it is. So I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
That's an 8.
Okay. Um, at the conclusion of this rest, you will get all of your hit points back, but you will gain no other benefits from the long rest. So yeah, Endeavor, you make this realization of what you're actually carrying with you, and your watch comes to an end.
Can I identify, since it's a brazier of commanding, can I identify from this how one would command? What the mechanism is for that?
Your Arcana was a 23.
Yeah.
Magic items like this typically operate on a command word.
Mm-hmm.
So you would just have to know the command word.
Okay. When Endeavor goes really silent, it's the portion where it's like, oh, it needs a word, and then starts basically spending about an hour looking at every single little like nook and cranny as if a gear like put it at the bottom, scribbled up in like on in the bottom and the back of one of the pieces, like just kind of like putting your password on your desk.
Make an investigation check.
I feel like a gear would do that.
Just in case you forget
Yeah.
it. It's not great. 14.
You find no such sticky note.
Yeah. He probably left. A year probably keeps it at the temple. Makes sense. Wonder if it calls up a full phoenix. And mind you, Devers explained none of this to Helia, so this is a jump from like, I wonder what's going on in here, to like the end point of the thought process, which is, does this summon a full phoenix, or does it just summon a tiny phoenix? Because right now it just is kind of an egg in essence, right? Inside the brazier.
Yeah,
so
it's
there's
literally just an egg in a box.
An egg in a box. We can't touch the egg because the egg is contained within the box.
The egg is contained within the box. All of the runes are glowing. The metal itself is almost like a blackened, almost like an infernal iron. It just has that black staining to it. But all of the runes are glowing like a bright, fiery orange.
Yeah. Yeah, this is basically Agir knew. Agir put these runes on here to make sure we didn't touch things that we probably shouldn't.
Yeah. The whole thing is warm to the touch.
It's nice though.
And
we should give
what
it
else?
A name.
We should give it a name. And the whole thing sheds bright light in a 5-foot radius, dim for an additional 5 feet.
Okay, so it keeps our dome nice and cozy.
Is it casting heat as well?
Yes, it is. Yeah, I mean, it's warm to the touch.
Do you think we should give it a name? Do you think phoenixes change their names when they're reborn? Or do they keep the same name?
I mean, it's not like they forget who they are when they're reborn.
Do they?
I don't know. I wouldn't think so. If so, I mean, they could live thousands of lives. Hundreds on the low end. Wasn't that legend that we read about the prince?
Yeah.
What was his name?
Bennu.
you say Banu. And
Oh God!
suddenly, a full medium-sized fire elemental appears in an unoccupied space inside the dome.
Oh,
we're still under 9. We're still under 9.
We're still okay.
We're still okay.
Maybe don't say that again.
This fire elemental makes 7. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
don't say that again. But I would guess.
Are you Banu?
Hold, please.
The one character I play that does not speak elemental.
I don't speak that either.
I literally take that on almost all characters. The one.
I don't. Yeah. No. That is not a language that I speak. To be fair, there was no need for that before.
This creature, for lack of a better term, has it is, I'll say it is roughly person-ish shaped. It is just a pillar of flame. And you get a sense that it is regarding you, but it does not say anything. All you hear is this, like, big, hot whoosh, as it forms, and the entire dome is bathed in bright light and heat. Everyone else immediately wakes up. Lula, Zilny, and Brutus, and Elza, the first thing you see is a bright light, and once your eyes adjust, there is a huge fire inside the dome. What do?
Oh God.
But
Elza immediately, like, tuck and rolls and scrambles outside the dome.
She stopped, drop, and rolled.
Yeah.
Zill's gonna like grab
She doesn't even
his...
get up. She doesn't even get up. She just rolls away.
Zill goes to like grab his bedroll and like goes over to like try to smother the fire, essentially.
Helia will
No,
like
no,
jump
no.
in front of. No.
Mm.
It's the Phoenix. The prince. Don't say his name.
I need Zilny and Endeavor, because you spoke first. Or I heard you first. I need the two of you to roll initiative.
You guys.
I did do nothing. I was asleep.
I did some things.
You did.
I did do some things. I did.
To be fair, all you did was say the name that I couldn't think of.
19.
15 for me.
Okay.
We should have asked Akira for instructions. I'm not sure. Put it back in the box.
Okay. Endeavor goes first.
Oh.
They say, wait.
Mm-hmm.
And Zilny, you wait a beat.
But there's a fire.
Yes, there is a fire. Remember that whole thing with the legend and the phoenix, and there was Prince and Bad? The stories, the temple. You guys zoned out during that whole lecture from Agir, didn't you?
I'm gonna be honest, yes. Yes, it did.
Okay. Well, long story short, lots of legend about Phoenix Prince. Phoenix goes away, world cast into darkness, lots of bad things. You know, circle of life. Uh Prince's name was Bennu, said the name Bennu. Large fire elemental came out of the box.
Zilni, it is at this point that you sense that this just pillar of burning, like it's just fire. Nothing is on fire. There is just fire here. But you get this sense that this elemental regards you. It has no face or limbs or features of any kind. So you're not entirely sure how you sense this, but you can sense that this pillar of fire is regarding you.
Okay, so there's like a Phoenix Fire royalty in our tent in
Yes.
the middle of the night.
That part was
More
an
like-
accident.
I think we also saved the Phoenix Prince from those
Yeah.
guys. So
Yeah.
It is worth quantifying this pillar of fire, bright light in a 30-foot radius, dim light an additional 30 feet.
Oh my god.
So,
It's so
60 feet in every direction is illuminated.
Can we?
Helia's gonna kneel, like go down on one knee, and kind of say, Your Majesty, is I think that might be what you're called. I don't mean any disrespect. It's very bright for humanoid eyes in here. Is there any way that that you're able to talk to us in a manner that is not in the guise of a very large fire elemental?
Make an insight check with disadvantage as you try to communicate with this fire.
Disadvantage, all right. 6.
6. Nothing happens. There is no discernible reaction to what you're saying.
Perhaps we ought to introduce ourselves first. To be polite.
Can they even understand us?
Can't just ask things like that. God.
I said it under my breath to you specifically.
It makes it okay. I mean,
like in Zill's mind, like you're the druid. This is much more
I don't speak
your
that.
realm of understanding.
Look, okay, I'm not there yet. I don't speak that one. I can fly, I can't be fire.
Sounds like a you problem.
Potato, potato. It's all the same. Magic bullshit.
Exactly.
Elza says to you from outside the dome. That sounds like a you problem.
It's definitely a me problem right now.
Get back in the dome.
I will make an attempt to introduce myself to the fire elemental using, you know, the fairly universal gesture of point to self and name and then point to other people and names.
Me, Tarzan. You
basically, yes. Endeavor, Helia, Zilni, Lula, not giving your whole name, very long. And then
Yeah.
and then
Lula, freckle
gesture
bottom,
gesture toward the.
apples. I don't remember.
It's very long. I'd have to bring it up.
Endeavor, as you go through these introductions, go ahead and make an insight check.
No, I don't. I think I
Can
do.
I get
insight on
Elsa
this one.
in? Is Elsa in now?
Yes,
In
Elsa
thank
gets
you.
back
so
into
she's
the
not
game.
poisoned outside.
Insight. 24.
Okay. As you go through these introductions, you get the sense that this pillar of fire is regarding you, and then regards each person that you introduce in turn.
Okay.
He's like just kind of like just following what you're doing.
Okay. I need to look at something.
How do we get it back into the box, do you think?
Oh, you're allowed to ask that, but I can't ask if it speaks common?
How long does it? Oh, it stays out for a while.
Endeavor, go ahead and Endeavor, go ahead and make another Arcana check.
Yeah, I don't know how to get it in the box. You know what? Agir did not leave us with very much. He was just like, bring this box and put the fire in the box. 16.
I think
16.
you figured out the code right, though.
So what you have done, by speaking the command word at this brazier of controlling fire elementals, is you have effectively cast the spell Summon Elemental specific to fire.
Yep.
Or not Conjure Elemental.
Yep, I have.
That spell
It
requires concentration, but it will last up to an hour.
Yeah.
So
am I
as
focusing
long as
on
you're,
this?
Yeah, so you, after thinking for a second and like taking a breath, collecting your thoughts, you realize the mental effort that you're exerting, not just in the conversation itself and the situation, but you are almost subconsciously, but actively maintaining this effect. So if you wish, you can essentially will this thing to disapparate.
I think I can make it go. Well, I'll ask it politely.
Would it help if I slapped you?
Probably, but I'd rather you didn't because I'm still kind of sore.
Okay.
Hell yeah, make an intelligence saving throw.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Damn.
You do wait for a response before deciding. Idea.
Yeah. We should probably make sure not to say that name near the box, though, because if you do, it turns out Agir left some things out.
Clearly.
Do we think he knew?
He made the box.
Well, yeah, but is it just like a throwback, like a reference?
I don't think so. It's kind of it's a command word. It's when you say the word, it calls up a representative of the element. And in this case, I think maybe in most cases, I think it's kind of general, like, you call up a fire elemental. This one might be a little more specific.
The fire elemental?
I'm not sure. Yeah, possibly with a capital T, but.
Oh, that's awkward. I just bowed to your fire elemental.
It's not mine.
You called it.
I just wanted to look at it.
Endeavor, you're still concentrating. So this elemental is still here, right?
Yeah, it's here. It's just chilling.
This entire time,
listening to
you
us.
get the sense that it's just watching you.
She's not
Again,
gonna,
no face, no limbs, no discernible anatomy. It's just fire for no reason.
Helia's not gonna slap Endeavor, but she's gonna use Mage Hand and tickle you just to try to get you to stop concentrating on it. Tickle, tickle.
I mean,
I drop it. I rolled a 1.
Do you also pee yourself?
Yeah.
I can't.
There's just like a little, like there's just like we see in the ground, but otherwise with you just see like a drop of oil.
Yeah. Guys made me ink.
Touch the butt,
You get like you just see literally, you know that like when you get like the little like the chill behind your back where you're just like
yeah.
You just see that, and then the fire is like.
So
you told me not to slap you. I thought this was the next best thing.
So your concentration drops.
Mm-hmm.
The fire elemental before you just kind of like fizzles out into nothingness. And the runes on the box are still glowing, but they only and the box is still warm to the touch. But the runes only glow in that dim 5-foot radius. There is no longer bright light coming from it.
Things on like a recharge?
Maybe? I mean, we need to sleep. Maybe they need to sleep too.
Can I? So you did like an Arcana check on it, right?
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
investigated it?
I did. I read the runes. And then I looked to see if there was a, like a command for it, because it seemed like the runes had a trigger phrase. So I started looking for that, and I didn't find anything because Agir's probably smarter than that. And then Helia and I were just talking, and it turned out that I said the name, and then there was an elemental.
Okay.
Do you want it to? She's like, do you want to take a look at the box?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I will spend the next 11 minutes casting Identify.
Okay.
To get all the details.
I'm going to tell you this before you start this action.
Okay.
You have already taken a watch.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you expend this kind of energy over this period of time, it will put the benefits of your long rest at risk. Are you okay with that?
I mean,
it is very, very the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Probably the wee hours. You know that you are very tired, and you were woken up like in the middle of your sleep cycle, very abruptly and very violently. So you're not feeling great.
Until
I can wait.
Walk home.
I work. Yeah. I mean, we have a while.
Because I can do it while we're walking home.
Yeah, I don't think it seems to be sleeping, which we should probably do too.
Yeah. She'll set it like next to the fire, just kind of nestled in the ground.
Put it like on, in case it needs to stay warm.
Yeah, in case it needs to stay warm. I don't know. There's still an egg in there. Theoretically.
There's absolutely still an egg in there. You can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to know, like, what the setup is here. Is that, like, a bodyguard to the Phoenix? Is that the Phoenix?
I feel like it's...
Like...
Is it, like, all one thing? Is it, like, all parts of
is
a
it
whole?
all... Yeah.
Yeah.
Like...
Jesus, Holy Spirit.
Yeah, it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
It just depends on which one you call.
Yeah. Like...
Oh, God. Oh god.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a
It
whole
just
like
depends.
rebirth thing going on. So
Yeah,
like,
there-
It just depends on what holiday it is. If it's
Yeah,
Easter,
Now in my
is it
head-
Christmas.
Yeah, in my head, that TikTok sound is playing. That's like, Holy Spirit, activate.
That's actually the somatics for the spell.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
yeah, with the dance.
Yeah.
Okay, then
I mean,
I will
you know,
wait till tomorrow.
we're
guess.
responsible for it. At least for the next possibly very long while if Skytown is currently destroyed.
Yeah, we should definitely talk to Ogier though. Bring it to Ogier
We-
first.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think this is too powerful for the Forge, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can
Also,
handle it.
I'm not sure how comfortable I am giving them sentient creatures to cage.
I mean, they already had sentient creatures to cage.
Yeah, and I wasn't too cool with it then either.
Fair.
Yeah, but I don't think we agreed to give them sentient creatures. We agreed to give them fire.
Fire.
From a sentient creature.
That is true.
Yeah,
That's like giving a feather. You know, that's not the same as giving the bird.
Yeah.
Maybe
Though
when we
it
clean
seems
out
like
its litter.
It does seem like they were keeping the birds last time though.
Well, they shouldn't. Clearly, they can't
Or
be
at least
trusted.
the
as
elementals.
delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no
Okay.
wonder they were pissed off. All right. We can tomorrow. That a tomorrow problem
That's,
along with the quickly
yeah.
piling ash.
Okay.
All right.
Back to sleep.
Sorry guys.
So the four of you all go back to sleep, leaving. At this point, it'll just be Elsa's watch.
Elsa and
It's
Brutus.
Elsa.
Brutus will be there.
Yeah.
He's a good guard dog.
So with Brutus's help,
Yeah.
Elsa is going to make their perception check. Court.
Yes.
You go to sleep.
Mhm.
And I would like you to roll a charisma saving throw.
I don't like that.
This one's not my fault.
14.
14.
Mhm.
You are, as you sleep, you see yourself like from above, inside just a small tavern, mutton chop size. But this tavern it's a place that you don't recognize. And as you look around trying to determine where you are, you suddenly find yourself in your own body, first person now.
Okay.
And you are playing this instrument that you've been practicing a little bit. And you are playing a song that you also do not recognize. And in this small tavern, you are seated in like a very small like corner of the room stage. And there's maybe a half a dozen random patrons in this bar milling about, drinking their pints, carrying on conversation. No one seems to really be paying attention to you. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Natural one.
Okay.
You gotta stop with that.
the dice that rolled me a natural 20 before, so
They give and take it.
She's fickle.
You are playing this song to a room full of people who aren't paying you any attention. And you finish this tune, and from one side, you just hear like a slow applause. Like one person is trying to show their appreciation. The moment you turn to look to see where the applause is coming from, you wake up. And you are the last person awake, as the rest of you are already starting to tear down camp. The dome has just come down.
That was weird. It felt like one of those dreams where you're not dreaming, but you're actually there. Does that make sense?
Happens, yeah.
I was in this weird little tavern that reminded me of the mutton chop, but it wasn't. Nobody was paying attention to my playing. That was kind of rude, but...
Court, you try to think back and remember any kind of details about where you were, and you can remember nothing. Like, you still have this, like, vague sense. Like, yeah, I think I was in a tavern, but you couldn't describe the tavern that you were in.
That's weird. I don't know. Not that I don't dream or anything. I totally dream, but that was weird.
Well, you're learning a new skill, right? So maybe your mind's just really focused on that new skill and where it's going to take you. I don't know. I don't generally pay attention to my dreams, but that seems logical to me.
I don't know. I'm not quite used to doing magic either, so maybe it's like magical hangover or something.
It happens. I guess.
Really?
What's a hangover?
It's when you drink too much and feel like shit the next day.
And it's when you drink too much and then you stop drinking.
So you just really start drinking again the next morning. It's the easiest way to deal with it.
Remember the last time we did karaoke in the mutton chop, and then the next morning I was like not feeling well, and you went and got me tea and scones?
Yes.
That's because I was hungover.
Do you need tea and scones?
I mean, would I love some tea and scones as opposed to the hard ration biscuits? Yes.
Wouldn't we all?
Lula, maybe you could like make some modifications to Brutus to like bake for
Make
us.
him an oven.
Make him an oven? I mean, if we stick the crucible in there, it kind of is an oven.
Weren't we already trying to turn Brutus into a keg?
Yeah, he's already brewing beer.
That's right.
Well, I mean, he could
Don't
be
tell the guy at the
divided.
mutton shop, though. If this next batch of beer doesn't work, we'll try an oven.
Okay.
I bet that would really warm my apartment in the winter, though.
You'd cut down on your heating bill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your
Turn my
apartment
dog
might...
into a furnace.
All of our apartments might be filled with lava right now.
Oh, true.
Well, it'll be super warm then.
You might not have to worry about
I
that.
have to worry about that.
Although,
Do you think that if that happened, that it's directly our fault, or is there going to be some leeway?
No,
there?
I think it was that other group's fault.
Considering that we were saving the Phoenix.
They were gonna kill the Phoenix. They killed the Phoenix.
As you're all having this conversation and packing up your
Did-
camp,
Did we cause the apocalypse?
you notice that not only, and through the entirety of the previous night, the quakes and tremors are continuing. They're a little bit less, they're a little bit weaker, but they are still frequent. In addition, you notice that above in the sky there is still very thick, heavy cloud cover. Ash continues to fall, and you begin to see and hear thunder and lightning.
I'm thinking,
Just over the entire region.
air bubble?
I think we're gonna have to.
Yeah.
Also, possibly.
I can do one.
Unless
I cast it multiple times.
I can do 3.
Okay.
Also, I think probably don't need this right now. Yeah, I'm gonna need to make some wind.
Yeah, I don't like the thunder. Lightning and thunder. That's not great. Do you get... So you sent a bird off to a gear. Does that bird come back, or that's just a one-way ticket, right?
That was a one-way ticket. That was just a warning.
Okay.
And I don't have any other means to... There are people who can do sort of the head talking. I'm not one of those people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even know if the bird reached its destination.
Guess we'll find out. All right.
Well, at least we're sending the bird away from the exploding volcano.
You might have saved the bird.
Yeah. We're heroes.
I
For that singular sparrow.
I did send the bird away from the volcano. Unfortunately,
It went to
I think it
Skytown.
was. It didn't die immediately. I'm hopeful that it got a head start.
Skytown has to have some sort of eventuality for... Right?
I mean...
This hasn't
This
happened.
is Rhodes, did Pompeii.
Yeah. Fair.
To be fair,
But
they didn't exactly know what a volcano was.
I mean,
True.
they knew that they did
I
know
feel
the
like-
mountain was angry, though, seeing as their town was really fucked like 10 years prior.
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna
Although, if
cast
it's-
air bubble on myself.
Yeah, and I'll cast air bubble on myself plus the other 2. Fuck, how many people do we have? We got Elza, don't we?
We have Elza. Do
Yep.
I need to cast it again?
No, I can do it. I'll cast
I forgot
it.
that you need to.
There are 5 of you. There are
Wait.
5 of you total.
You breathe air? Endeavor?
Do I?
Yeah, Endeavor. You shouldn't need one. You don't breathe.
I just need to make sure that I can do it on.
You can do it on others.
People, but
It's a
not
willing
myself.
creature. Yeah. willing
All right,
creatures.
yeah. Then I'll cast it at 3rd level so that I can do it on 3 people.
Okay.
You can't just tell people they don't breathe. So rude.
I've tried before, but it doesn't seem to do anything.
I did not program lungs.
Too complicated.
So it's too complicated. I don't do that whole like inner vascular system thing. Where would you
just
put?
I think we
where
found
would you put the
Lula's other
keg?
hobby.
Mm.
It's tinkering and hurting Endeavor's feelings.
Yeah. Oh, her hobby is, well, it goes hand in hand with drinking, brewing beer out of her dog.
I was just gonna say, I have no insides because at some point during the process, you were like, I could put a keg in this.
I could put a keg in this.
I could make this a kegerator.
Mhm.
No, that's not how it happens.
Mhm.
You start with a keg
Oh,
and say,
man, it'd be
"I
great if this
don't
thing
want
had
to
legs."
carry. Yeah, I don't want to carry this around. I'm going to give this keg legs."
She was gonna make you
She was a teenager when she built
a
you.
robot
Like,
of
come
holding.
on.
This is true. And then she was like, I want the keg to serve things itself, so that's why I have arms.
Self-tapping keg. But then its arms were just like flailing around like this. So you had to give it a face so it could see what it was doing. And then bingo, bango, bongo. You have an endeavor.
You got then one night you got real drunk. And the next morning your keg was sentient.
Yep.
You're like, what the fuck?
You got real drunk and started talking to your keg, and you wouldn't shut up. And then the next morning it was Endeavor, and Endeavor's first words to you were, "God, shut up! Get a glass of water."
I feel like that's not the first time she's heard that.
Anything else? Anything else we think would be? Are we gonna head for Skytown?
We kind of have to at this point.
So just to be clear, I get all my hit points back in the morning, but I like the spell slot I use casting Tiny Hat, that stays the same, right?
You do not. You lose all of your other benefits to a long rest. You only get your hit points back.
Right, that's what I was.
So yeah, you won't get that spell slot back unless you cast it as a ritual.
It didn't. I don't think she would have thought to at this point because
I mean that's fair.
The ash was falling from the sky.
Yeah. And there's only so long that she can play hot cross buns that many times in a row.
No,
like
it's 3 blind mice.
Can you imagine like 10? You're like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Can you imagine like 10 minutes of hot cross buns or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star?
That's fair. I like that.
All right.
I love that idea. I love that.
All right. Hear me out. Before we key in another What's New Pussycat, let's throw in one. It's not unusual.
Exactly what that bit. It would be that bit.
Oh my god.
I like that idea that you do rituals. Like you manage to get through rituals as you get better and play longer songs.
Yeah.
All right. So you get your camp packed up. You get moving.
I cast Identify from the back of Brutus as we go.
Okay.
As a ritual.
Yes. What you are looking for is a brazier of commanding fire elementals. Brazier. It is exactly that item, but it is in a. It's just a more portable aesthetic.
Sure.
But it is that exact item.
Okay.
It weighs 5 pounds. Once per dawn, you can cast Conjure Elementals, specifically a fire elemental. So you can't use it to summon a water elemental. That would be ridiculous.
Sure.
Okay. But yeah, once per day. No attunement required, but the person who speaks the command word is effectively in charge of that elemental. Concentration up to an hour.
And the runes are lit back up?
No, they are not.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, because it was after we
Yeah.
were in the day. We were in the next day at that point. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Not yet.
It's worth noting, it's still dark.
Well, yeah, because there's...
Yeah, because of the cloud and ash and all that garbage. The sun doesn't rise.
Guys, we might have ended the world.
We didn't do anything.
Are we sure? Are we absolutely sure?
No, but I'm gonna keep saying it.
Okay.
Saved the Phoenix. Damn it.
We did.
That group was there anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we started feeling the ground rumbling on our way up, which means what could we have done from that distance? It wasn't on us.
No.
I wonder why they were trying to kill the Phoenix.
Well, it burned down that village.
Well, maybe it burned down that village because those assholes went up there and pissed it off.
Sorry, go ahead, Dustin.
No, you guys are fine. The ash continues to fall at a rate of 2 inches about every 3 hours.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the ash falls through the entire day.
Guess I should have checked my spells before we left, huh?
By the time you guys have, you guys push as far and for as long as you can, and there's now about a foot of ash just blanketing everything in this area.
Does the ash appear to be letting up during the day? Does it appear to be less ash falling, or is it this very consistent?
By the end of the day, it does seem that the ash fall is slowing.
Okay.
So, it takes, it would normally have taken you guys, it took you guys 3 days to get from Skytown to where you are. It actually takes you guys 4 days, an extra day to get back because of the added difficulties of going through all of this ash. All of those evenings are largely uneventful. Is there anything specific that anybody wants to do? Anything that you want to talk about, know about on your way back to Skytown?
Didn't somebody get fancy armor?
Ellie did.
And I believe that was just finely made studded leather, correct?
You said it was studded leather +1. That's the item you told me to
+1
take.
studded leather.
Yeah.
It had a fancy symbol on it, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
It did have a fancy symbol on it.
That matched the guys that were in the volcano.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where's this?
I think on Lula's watches over the next couple nights, she's gonna start tinkering with the handful of bullets that she has. Probably not making a whole lot of progress because she doesn't have like a workbench. But just kind of pulling one apart, seeing how it actually functions, maybe asking Zill like some questions about, how does your gun work, how does this work, etc. And then maybe trying to kind of like use some of the more elementally spells she has to kind of like see if she can tinker with it. Probably nothing like super out there, but
go ahead and make a tinkering check with advantage, since the two of you, and Rhodes, you have proficiency with tinkerer's tools as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so go ahead and make that with advantage.
so
Using your intelligence.
plus proficiency.
Yeah, intelligence plus proficiency.
All right. I just want to make sure I can't do anything else. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check you make that uses your proficiency with a tool.
Okay.
Okay. So Nat 20
Natural 20.
for a 31.
Ooh.
Cheese and rice.
Okay.
She can't sneak kids, but she can tinker.
So you take a couple of these bullets and you take Zill's gun and you field strip the lot of it down to its
That makes me really
constituent
nervous.
atoms.
I give her the non-magical gun. I have two.
Yeah, you break this thing down nearly by atoms.
Yeah.
And figure out exactly how it works. You're not able to produce anything in the field like this, but I will say, for future reference, you can write this down. During a short or long rest, you can expend one spell slot and make a tinkering check, and I'll give it like a DC of 15. And you will be able to imbue 2 bullets with whatever element of a spell that you expend.
Okay, so it has to be. So, like, if I want to do poison, it has to be a poison.
Yeah, you have to cast like a poison spray.
Okay.
And expend a
spell
slot to do it.
Can I use a cantrip but still burn like a first level spell slot?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So 2 bullets.
Yeah. 2 bullets per spell slot, I'll say.
Cool. Corresponding element to spell. Sweet. Cool.
All right. You are now here.
Oh, hey.
So, that gets you through the next couple of days. Is all of that you're able to discern. Is there anything else that you guys want to do? Court, Tina, any thinking, tinkering? At dawn on the second day that you guys are traveling, the runes do begin to glow a little brighter on that brazier. Signifying that ability, that thing has recharged.
Nothing else for me.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, God. I feel like as we get closer to Skytown, Skytown is walled, but outside of the town itself, like there's still people in theory. Like there's settlements, there's farms, there's hills, there's pasture.
So,
I don't really know.
before I answer that question, I'm going to ask a different question. How we feeling? Do we need a type 5? Because if we take a type 5, it's going to be here.
Let's take a type 5.
Let's take it.
Okay.
As well.
Let's take a type 5.
Yep.
And then when we come back, it will be dawn on the 4th day as you guys start coming into view of Skytown.
Okay.
We shall be back in about 5.
Yeah.
No internet.
Hello, internet. Welcome back.
It was not a type 5, but it was close enough.
It was.
It's never
type
actually
few.
a 5.
It's like a husky 5.
Husky 5.
Please don't say it like that. All right. So, before we continue, actually, let's just continue. Before we continue, let's continue. It is now dawn on the 4th day, and and your group is just coming into sight of Skytown. So you see the southern wall off in the distance, and you also see that there is. As you begin to approach the city, you begin to see first, you start to see tracks in the ash. Followed by, and you see some like cart tracks, some hoof prints, and you see those in the morning and maybe late morning. You see a group of people. It is a human man riding an allegedly human man riding a horse beside a woman driving a wagon. And the wagon is filled with shit and covered with a tarp. I would like everyone to roll a perception check.
24.
Okay.
19.
13.
Endeavor and Zilny both see from behind the woman driving the cart, from like inside the back of it, you see a couple of small hands and a small face just like peek out from under a tarp and then dart back under. Both of these two people that you can see are wrapped up almost head to toe, no exposed skin. Their faces are completely covered with um like scarves or a t-shirt or something to cover their face so they can breathe through all of this ash, and they are heading out of the city. They pass you from about 20 or 30 feet away. And as they are heading away from the city and you're heading towards the city, the two of you also notice that the man who's riding just the horse, just kind of gives like his eyes linger on your group perhaps longer than you would normally think. But they don't say anything to you, and just head off in the other direction. This happens a few more times, with increasing frequency as you get closer and closer to Skytown. The smoke and the by this time the ash is just about done falling. The only falling ash at this point is ash that had been clinging to trees that is falling off the branches. But the smoke and ash still continued to choke the northern and western skies. Um, Tremors and quakes still shake the ground, although with much lower frequency than they were a few days ago. Um, but at long last, the southern wall of Skytown comes into view. Um, as you approach the gates, you see that one of the uh, gates. So the gates are, there is an iron portcullis that is partially closed. And there are also like double swinging wooden and iron doors that can completely seal the gates. One of those doors is closed and barred. So the gates is really only half open. And as you approach, you see that there is almost a steady stream of people leaving Skytown.
Are they all types of people, or do they all look like big people?
Make a perception check. And anyone else can make this check as well.
18.
Miss Jackson.
17.
13.
You all notice that the overwhelming majority of the people leaving Skytown are of races other than dwarves and gnomes. Sam, you got a Miss Jackson?
Yeah.
You see one dwarf the entire morning. And it's, close to lunchtime by the time you guys actually get to the gates. It's lots of humans and elves, Eladrin halflings, those lots of those sorts of people. Um, but the like true locals or the true inhabitants, ancestral inhabitants of the city seem to be remaining. As you approach the gate, you are stopped by a dwarf individual wearing full plate armor with the insignia of the deep armory like burned into the chest piece. Although this is not a style of armor or like a version of the insignia that you are accustomed to seeing. And this individual just puts a hand out to your group and say, the city's closed. What's your business here?
Well, we live here.
Do you have proof of that?
Do we have the paperwork for the job that we were just on?
Yeah, we're Deep Armory.
Our instructions are to let no one in the city unless they are on official business. With everything that's happened over the last few days, we cannot be too careful.
Well, first of all, we are on official business. We are on a mission for the Deep Armory. Second of all, we're also the group that is leading the hunt for Sersha in the city. We were told to take care of this other task and come back. We've done that. We're back.
I'm not familiar with that name. You said that you had an assignment. Do you have the contract to support that?
Who had it?
Yeah,
I think
we have like passports essentially that we were like temporary passports that we were given of like we can go
Mhm.
anywhere. So I'll hand that
Yeah,
over.
we had
like
like the Korsava Brood passports
Mhm.
and the
Yeah.
if you have
And
yeah,
other
if you've got
paperwork.
that, yeah, our contract and everything too from
The individual flips through the documents that you provide. You give him your passports. You do have a copy of the contract from Corlias.
Mm.
And kind of does the looks down at the documents, looks up at you, down at the documents, back up at you, and he does that a couple of times. And he says, "Well, I suppose welcome home to Skytown, such as it is." And he steps aside to let you pass.
immediately go ahead.
Just as you are about to enter through the gates, Sam, you notice a familiar face.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
On their way out.
Uh-oh. Wait. Out. Who?
You see Corlias.
He's enough.
You see Corlias is driving a small cart, being pulled by a donkey because he's waited too long to leave the city and there are no more horses. At this point, once you guys are this close to the city, actual horses pulling these carts is a rare sight. It is mules and donkeys and any other creature available to pull any of these wagons or carts. But yeah, you notice Corlias, and he's just gonna walk right past you.
I reach out and I kind of like fall into step with him.
Okay. You don't stop him.
Well, I mean, if he's leaving, then yeah, I try and catch his attention.
Okay. You catch his attention. He looks up, sees you, sees the rest of you, and says, "Oh, you're alive. How?"
We're just that good, I guess. What happened?
The volcano erupted, earthquake.
Yes.
You're just getting back now. You haven't seen it. Skytown's been split in two.
Where? Split where?
Along the main road from the gates to Korsava Brew down to the docks district.
Cutting off the eastern side. It's going.
There were. And he steps out of line, and he tries to begin his sentence maybe a half dozen times, trying to decide like where to start, what is the most important piece of information that you would need, um and says it was 4 days ago, 5 days ago. It's, I don't know, it's all been a blur. um Many of us tried to hold the city together, but it's more difficult than it sounds. Um, the they're still searching for a lot of the missing townsfolk. Um, the deep armory, the head of the deep armory, um, declared martial law in Skytown and presumably inside Korsava as well. Um, no one's been allowed into the city. All um, most of the guilds are working uh, to dam the sea so it doesn't flood into the mountain. It's, you're alive, and it's better for you to stay out of Skytown, stay out of Korsava. There's certainly nothing left there for me.
It's a real shame.
And he turns to continue on. He makes it a few steps and says, well, I suppose if you are going back into the city, the least I can do is for payment of your last job is to give you this. And he reaches into his pack and he pulls out a scroll. Unfurling it, you see that it is the deed to the property that the Phoenix Fireforge sits on.
You're sure?
At this point, it's not worth keeping for me.
Well,
I'd rather be rid of it and leave the city with clean ties.
okay.
Well, I wish you all luck, and please be careful.
You know who we work for.
Um, he pulls you in, Lula, for a hug, and says, "Do not trust anyone."
Just kind of nod.
He turns, gets back on his cart, and gets back into line as this stream of people are all exiting the city.
Well, I'm going in.
Well,
What did
yeah.
what did he say?
Uh, she'll look at. Are we in or are we?
You're still outside the gates. Like, you've been granted entrance.
Yeah, but we're still on the
But
outside.
yeah, you're still on the outside. That guard is, at this point, kind of like, I told you you could go in. In or out.
That sounds like my dog. Like, pick one.
Yeah. One or the other. You can't stand in the doorway. You're not a tabaxi.
I'll tell you all inside. Let's keep moving. See what's standing.
You enter Skytown.
I'm so scared of this. I'm so scared to see this map.
Oh god. I see all the little cursors moving. Oh. Oh, hey, at least they got a bridge.
My house is still here.
Yeah.
Oh, the forge is on fire.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I think two of you are gonna have to, bunk with us. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was just gonna say our house is not here. All my plants, your plants are gone. All my plants are dead.
You enter the city.
Oh shit.
And immediately it is not the town that you remember leaving. The streets are dirty and grimy, and the lamps are unlit. There are people just milling about aimlessly. You look off to your left down towards the deep armory, and it looks like a battle had taken place. Like, the deep armory keep right there is a fortress. The walls show scoring and some damage. There are a few fires that are actively, a few very small, but fires are actively burning around the keep. And you look down this main street here, and you can see pretty far, like, into the city, and you can tell that a lot of the smoke that is in the air in this area is not from the volcano. It is from fires that were set in the city. The guild headquarters of, you spend the rest, like, a couple hours just taking it all in, wandering the streets. The first place you go is to Alula and Zilni's homes. Those blocks have seen looters, but Lula, your flat is, like, back and out of the way enough that it has not been hit very hard. Zilni, the shop that your flat is above is, like, completely barren.
Fuck. Bits and Bobs was the best.
Yeah. So that shop is completely barren. Your home has been broken into. There are a lot of things missing, and anything that's not missing is a mess all over your place.
I mean, he's a broke retiree.
There wasn't much there.
All right.
They were really disappointed when they got inside.
Dustin, before you continue.
Yeah.
Just to get an idea, is the damage here... So clearly, like, fires have broken out. Is there, like, cooling magma under our feet, or like does it look like the city was hit with an earthquake as opposed to like
earthquake, not lava
not
flow.
lava flow? Okay, so the lava flow did not get this far. It's just the tremors.
Yes.
And the big crack.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm wondering like what is beneath our feet? Is it lava as well as whatever the big caused the giant fissure as we're walking through? But okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, not cool,
but there's not just like lava moving.
Yeah, like
the so that is Lula and Zilni's neighborhood.
Yeah.
The guild outpost for the Dragonsteel Forge guild is completely engulfed. The Sharper Visage Tower is not on fire, but the guild outpost for the Gilded Society and Sun Guard are completely engulfed in flames. You make your way towards where Helia's home and neighborhood is, and you are stopped by an enormous canyon that has been cut into the city. You look out and try to do the math of where certain neighborhoods or certain buildings are supposed to be. Helia's entire neighborhood is gone. You can see across this canyon that the Forge Master Temple is still standing, but there are fires that have broken out in that neighborhood and at that temple. Sam, you know that, and you and Elsa realize this at the same time, that between Sharper Visage Tower and the Forge Master Temple is where the Hammer's Clamor was. That entire neighborhood doesn't even exist anymore. You look down over the edge of this cliff face, and you can see that two like makeshift bridges have been built to span this gap, so you can still get from one side of town to the other. The entire gate building that was the gates to Korsavabru completely gone and turned to rubble. That entire gate complex is little more than a hole in the mountain. Water from the ocean is pouring through that hole and washing away everything in the canyon below.
Elias not to said to not trust anyone. I don't know what that means in what context, but
well, I imagine that the worst of people came out as soon as things got bad.
One more thing that you guys do notice is that at the east end of town, at the shore where the ocean is flooding everything, and you realize that the ocean is essentially just emptying into the mountain. So all of Korsava Brew's flooding. But there are workers and mages at the wall, at the shore, trying to build a dam. And at this point, after the couple of days, it is a very large operation. It is clearly not done because water is still getting in, but you can only imagine how much water was getting in when this first happened.
What's I guess like what's Elsa's response when she or like
Yeah.
what's like when she realizes that the Hammer's Clamor and that entire neighborhood are gone, how does she respond?
Make an insight check with advantage.
Okay, well I don't know if the advantage is gonna help. That's still a 5.
Oh.
So I rolled like ass.
With a 5, she does not seem to be really reacting at all. Does anybody else want to roll insight?
I don't think I have to, but yeah. Come on. 13.
The two words that I would use to describe Elsa's reaction are shock and catatonic.
Mm.
This whole thing is so immediately jarring for her, especially because she's younger than all of you.
Yeah.
Well, almost all of you. Um, but she's she doesn't seem to really be able to even process the information right now.
I swap her out. Like I put her on Brutus
Okay.
and like drop to give her like so she can sit.
Okay.
Once your like ground level, um Zill's going to like just say under his breath to try to not have Elsa hear. Do you think we should start looking for her mother? Where would your family have gathered?
Where does your family live?
In that neighborhood.
All of them?
Most of them. They don't move far from Dragonsteel.
Oh god, now
You
when
do have an
I
uncle
sent
that
the
owns
bird.
an inn,
I do.
right? It's an inn.
Well, it's a pub,
A pub.
but
Whereabouts
no.
is that?
I don't remember where we put that, Dustin.
I never made a marker.
Okay.
So it's wherever we want it to be.
Preferably
Clearly,
not,
it's
preferably
not in Skytown.
Yeah.
it's do we remember who I sent the bird to? Did I send it to somebody at
A
Deep
gear.
Armory? I
Oh,
sent
you
it to a
sent
gear.
I thought you sent it to a gear.
Yeah.
I sent it to a gear. I was trying to
Mhm.
remember who we tried to get word to in advance.
Yeah, it was a gear.
Does somebody should be trying to organize things, right? Like somebody should be trying to have a list of people and
I think that's what the Deep Armory is trying to do.
The few people that so you guys are seeing a fair, not a lot, but a fair number of people just kind of like milling about. Um, they are a lot of the like regular like townsfolk are mostly looking kind of disheveled. Um, probably a fair bit aimless.
Mm.
That is like 75% of the people that you see fit that description. The other 25% are typically groups of 5 or 6, all dwarves or dwarves and gnomes, and they are all wearing matching plate armor, the same as the guard that confronted you at the gate.
Yeah.
And they are just roaming patrols. You see you see a halfling try to approach one of the patrols, and it's too far away to hear. But you see the halfling approach this patrol. A short conversation happens, and one of the dwarves that's part of the patrol raises their hand as if to strike the halfling, and the halfling cowers away and then just runs down an alley. And the patrol continues on.
We need to regroup. They may have gone into the mountain. They may have gone to the guild. No, the Guild Society is on fire. They might have gone to the Dragonsteel Forge.
Also on fire.
Also on fire. Also on fire.
What's not on fire?
All of it's on fire.
Well, wait, no.
The uncle's inn.
Sharper Visage?
Sharper Visage is not on fire. The brewery, Hops to Hops, which seems like an absurd name in this current context. We did not put on the map, I don't think, because I didn't write it
down. And that's your uncle's pub.
That's the uncle's pub.
All right, then I need you to do something for me.
Oh my god, you make me roll high-low, I'm going to hurt you.
I'm not making you roll high-low. I already rolled.
I have to choose.
Low, medium, or high.
I fucking hate you. Medium.
Okay.
If you made these two girls orphans, I'm going to be very angry with you.
Maybe some of them went somewhere else. Maybe your aunt is just holding back the water. Like, just with her, like,
I sure will.
Just pure
yeah, like, she's just she's literally just glaring at the ocean.
Yeah,
and it's retreating.
Yeah. If anybody could.
Hey, at least the mutton chop survived.
It did.
That will always survive in Dustin's world.
Yeah, I don't think he could. I don't think he could bring himself to destroy the mutton chop.
Absolutely not. Never.
It's literally just an island, like, floating in the astral sea.
It would have just been the island.
Yeah.
Do you notice the big bend in the crack where it goes around the mutton chop? He'll slaughter an entire generation of gnomes before he destroys the mutton chop.
I mean, to be fair, when Dustin originally said that all of the people that were leaving were essentially medium-sized, my first thought was, oh my god, did he kill all the gnomes and dwarves? Did he just commit genocide? Were we too short to survive?
Oh, because of it, like, flooded and stuff.
Like, above them, like, we couldn't stand. I was like, oh my god, Dustin!
Oh shit, can I swim?
It's
Can I
so
swim?
dark.
I mean...
That's not why it was only medium-sized creatures who left.
I assume.
I mean, you said a couple more sentences
yeah.
and it was fine.
Yeah, I assume small-sized was able to get into
either into the city or just stayed.
Yeah, into Corsava Brew, allowed to be in there or just stayed. The Fopple
Sam,
Apples would have stayed.
What is the name of that pub?
You made it up.
You said it like 30 seconds ago.
Props to Hops.
Props to Hops.
Props to Hops.
Props to Hops Brewery Company. Owned by Wilrick Pebblegift.
Is it within 120 feet of where we're standing?
Props to Hops. Survived.
Oh, it's way up there.
Oh,
it's on the other side.
Yes. Okay. Let's go up there.
If you had said the same thing that I rolled, it would have been bad. So I gave you a 2 out of 3 chance.
Oh my god.
Okay. You might have family still left.
Maybe. Do we want to go to the Forge Master first? We've covered the west side, right? Like at this point.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, at this point, the city is separated into the north and south side.
Okay, and we've covered pretty much the south side at this point.
Yeah. You guys have kind of done a lap.
Gotta go north side.
It's been a few hours. Obviously, the mutton chop survived.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to check in with the deep armory yet. I still want to keep a low profile.
Do we want to check in with Forge or no?
That's my question. Do we want to do Forge first or keep going north?
Why don't we check on your people?
Yeah, your cousin's doing okay right now, but I've seen shock victims suddenly come out of that shock, and it would probably be best if she was in a safe place with family surrounding her.
Yeah.
I just didn't have message as a cantrip, obvious, the cantrip message. With a 120-foot range, I think subtly as we're walking, I'm going to keep trying to cast message to Lula's aunt.
Oh, she'll love that.
Well, depending on if she's in range or not, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like to see if we get a response, just to have perhaps an inkling of an idea what we may be prepared for.
Okay.
Yeah.
What the hell is her name again,
Let's
Sam?
see.
Ordata.
Ordata?
Mm-hmm.
On the plus side, maybe the ocean flooded all the demons out of the underneath the mountains.
The wrong direction.
I'm just glad it didn't open it more.
Oh my god. If it had run north to south instead of, like, if it had gone the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. It would have been
it would have been basically like a lazy river full of demons.
So
that's above our pay grade, you guys.
Court.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You start just trying to whisper this message, and you can tell that it's not actually really going anywhere as you're walking around. And then you remember that you still have to have line of sight, because there is a somatic component that you point at the creature that you want to message.
That's right. Okay.
So without knowing where they are, you would be pointing any which way, and the spell is going to fail. Good idea, though.
So she's just like spinning around like a radar.
It says you can cast a spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the target and know it's beyond. Okay. So I'd have to know that she was like beyond.
You'd still have to know she was there.
Okay. I didn't take sending. Sorry, y'all.
Also, sending is not a cantrip.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I didn't take it.
But you don't need to know where she is for sending.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I don't think I did. No,
Magic's still new to Helia. It's fine.
Yeah, no, and I didn't prepare the things that are for things like this because you see, when we came to town, I didn't realize that the town would not actually be there.
Yeah.
So the useful
The town
things
is
like
not towning.
yeah, so the useful things like locating things in a place where perhaps it's changed a lot are not things that I can do today. Tomorrow I can locate creatures. Today, not so much.
Yeah. So let's go to Props Tops.
There's some place to go anyway.
Yeah, we need a place to go, and honestly, I don't think we'll all fit in my apartment.
Not with all the shit in there.
Hey, that shit's gonna save us now.
So you pass over I'm just gonna say that you pass over the inland bridge, the smaller one by the Forge Master Temple.
Yeah.
And you get about 3/4 of the way across. This bridge is only about like 10 feet wide, and it's mostly rope and wood construction. And of course it's swaying. Everybody has to walk single file. There are people passing you, trying to walk the other way, but there's not a lot of traffic. You get about 3/4 of the way across, and you are stopped by what appears to be a human and a half-elf. And they say, all right, to go any further, you have to pay the toll.
No.
Zill's literally just going to pull out each gun, one at each of them, and just say, I'm genuinely not in the mood. Hustle somebody else.
All right, buddy. This ain't no hustle. Obviously, the town's in fucking shambles, and we need to start putting it back together, and that means raising funds so that projects can be completed. How do we raise money for projects? Fucking tolls on the bridge.
And
so
who gave
you can
you
either pay the toll, or you can turn your happy ass around and go back.
And who gave you the authority to collect tolls?
That's not important to you. All you need to do is pay the toll, and you can continue on. It's that simple.
So this is not important to me.
It's a silver piece per person.
Which one is talking? The
half
human?
elf.
The half elf. As soon as he says it's not important to me, both guns point at him. It's like, I think it's important.
We're just growls.
Roll an intimidation check.
There's 2 of them, right?
Yeah, there's 2 of them in front of you.
Does Brutus give advantage?
Sure.
Thanks, Brutus. It's alright about Brutus, but it's better with Brutus. Thank you. It's 19.
19.
Fucking taking advantage of the situation. Bullshit grifters.
Yeah. About ready to turn into a bird and pick these assholes up.
Just drop them into the water. Oh no! Hope you can swim.
Really dumb to do this grift on the middle of the bridge where I can knock you off of it.
Yeah. So how many hit points does that bird have?
So this half elf kind of looks at you, staring down both barrels, and takes like a half step back. Make a perception check.
14.
14. You see you see this half elf kind of like take a half step back from you, and then you notice his eyes flick up, like to look above you and past you, and you almost imperceptibly see him shake his head, and then he looks you back in the eyes and says, "Whatever, it's not worth dying for. But know this: when the next time you need help for something, don't come looking to any of the guilds to help you, because this is what those funds are for, and you can fucking spend." And he gets out of your way and lets you guys pass.
Have a good day. And he'll like let the rest of the party go past first. Doesn't put the guns down until his friends get past first, and then he passes.
Ew.
All right, you guys get across the bridge.
Yep.
Did those guys have any guild insignia or anything?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Probably should have been a question we asked before we started pointing guns, but like I don't blame. I'm not blaming.
Which
I am not
I
blaming
asked
you.
him on whose authority.
If
he
you
had
did,
paperwork that said, "Here's my paperwork that gives me the authority to do this," I'd be like, "Oh, fair."
yeah, no, I'm not.
That's
I
cool.
am not blaming you. I am not blaming you at all. That was
well,
perfect.
it's like, I mean, was what most of the people we have seen have been
Deep Armory.
Deep Armory,
Mhm.
even if they are kind of armored more like the underground fuckers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what their name.
Actually, I would like everyone to make a history check. Zilny, you can make it with advantage.
Mm.
And then Tina, what was your perception check?
Perception was 23. History is balls, so it doesn't.
Okay.
I don't remember.
With your perception, looking for insignias after you guys have passed, you turn back to look at those two that were trying to collect that toll. There's actually 5 of them. You turn back and you see the human and half elf, and they are talking to a pair of dwarves and a gnome. And you realize that there were 2 of them in front of you, but 3 more right behind you.
28, nat 20.
Cool.
For the history?
Yeah.
15 for me.
Okay. Um. So the 2 of you, after seeing this insignia and this style of armor a couple of times, you realize that all of these patrols and all of these new guards, these are Deep Legionnaires. The Deep Legion is essentially the city's standing army.
Oh, fuck me.
So when Corlias told you that the armory declared martial law,
yeah,
these guys walk in patrols. They're not cops anymore.
No.
It's their standing army. These are professional soldiers, not peacekeepers. But you are otherwise able to keep out of the way and you keep your nose clean on your way to the Props to Hops Tavern and Brewery.
Sorry, before we get in, one question for clarity. Were the guys on the bridge also wearing something that had that insignia?
Go ahead and make a perception check after the fact.
I was only looking at the guy's face, apparently. 7.
Okay. No. And Tina as well. You guys didn't see any kind of official insignia for any guild, let alone one in particular.
We still stand on he could have just said something.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have to be an asshole about it.
Yeah.
But as you guys approach Props to Hops, you all begin to see, and it's something that you notice a little bit more now that you're starting to recognize this pattern, because it was the same around the mutton shop. The closer you get to a tavern or any inn, lots of people are just congregating there. And you're starting to see posters and flyers, faces of missing people, um, people looking for, pretty much just like any kind of wanted ads, like, hey, like a will work for food, or, you know, will trade this for that, kind of in like the whole city, more concentrated around these congregation points of these taverns, um, becomes like a big like free for all like flea market kind of place. Um, Probably about 60% of all of these flyers are missing people. Um, but you start to approach Props for Hops, and the you are only able to get like 50 feet to the door because there are so many people here, that you can hardly even get inside.
I'm gonna lead the way to the back door.
Okay.
Fuck the front door.
You head back away from the tavern, go a long way around the block and down an alley. And you turn a corner, and there is a large half orc, very stereotypical.
Wait, I know.
Bouncer.
Loxum. Loxum?
Yes. I didn't have their name written down, so I was hoping you did.
I did.
So your eyes kind of meet, and then they see Elsa, and this half orc just looks at the two of you and says, two of you inside upstairs now, the rest of you outside.
They can't come with?
If you can find space through the front, You can come inside, but only family upstairs.
Loxon, come on.
No exceptions.
It's fine. Go see what's going on with your family.
I'll be back. If you need to, we can meet at the Forge Master. Just let me know. And I will take Elsa and Brutus and go inside.
As you're going upstairs, Helia's just gonna like grab your shoulder and kind of give you a squeeze and just be like, good luck, you're gonna need it, and give you a bardic inspiration.
I mean, if anything, taking Elsa with us may have saved her life, so like you've got that.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
You get that for 10 minutes.
Sweet.
This bard doesn't have unfailing inspiration.
All right. And with that, we're going to call it.
So much happening.
Alright, Bardic, Inspo.
For a moment,
10
depending on what
minutes.
the level of destruction was going to be, I was going to be like, I mean, are we going to have to rename the game? There's no more Skytown?
It's not
It's
Skytown anymore.
Mm-mm.
It is now Lavaville.
Lavaville.
I mean,
Giant crater in the Oceanville?
it's more like a, canyon.
Two towns, one canyon.
Well, that's now the title of the next episode, or this episode. I named it something else.
What did you name it?
Fallout.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think the next one's gonna be two towns, one canyon.
Yeah, dude. Excellent.
Oh my lord. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sure everything is totally fine.
Totally fine.
Did you look at the same map I did?
Yeah.
It's fine. All totally fine.
Okay.
You know
Also,
what? We
Now
have a
more and
we have
out
a
of
new
order.
there's a new water feature in the town.
It's gonna be riverfront property in 5 years.
Yeah.
That's true.
Also, props to Dustin. That map looks freaking awesome.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Thank you.
Totally good.
Very impressed.
Oh, it was so good to get back to these characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It is really nice to be back in Skytown.
And
On
now,
a related note,
now
we're taking the next 2
2
weeks off.
but then we'll be
But-
back for like
In literal person.
A while.
a while.
Yeah.
A while. Yes.
And in literal person at the end of the month, at the end of August.
Yeah, so excited.
Yeah.
Special edition.
Special episode. Cool. Thanks, friends.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dustin,
Yeah,
for
thanks for playing.
Yeah,
making me
thanks,
sad.
Dustin. I know, I was like, oh god.
Thanks me for cutting the town in half and lighting it on fire. You're welcome.
Hi, friends. Bye, Internet. Have a good night.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.